All right, let's begin the program with plenty of football, talking transfer stories as Barcelona have confirmed the signing of Gundogan on a free transfer. He will join on a 2-year deal with the option of a 12-month extension after his contract at Manchester City ended after winning 12 major trophies in his 7 years at the club. The City captain had been offered a 1-year contract extension but opted to join Barca instead after negotiations with Xavi Hernandez, the coach. The 32-year-old, who scored 60 goals in 304 matches for City, played a key role in their treble success last season. Still talking transfer stories, Luka Modric have signed a 1-year deal with Real Madrid, and that will keep him at Madrid until the summer of 2024. The Croatian veteran midfielder, whose contract was about to expire at the Santiago Bernabeu, had been linked with a move to Saudi Arabia's Pro League. Modric has made 488 appearances for Madrid, winning 3 La Liga titles and the Champions League 5 times since arriving from Tottenham in 2012.
Good evening.
And Nicolas Jackson has completed his medical ahead of a move to Chelsea from Spanish side Villarreal. The Senegal forward has a £30 million release clause in his Villarreal contract, with the final details on an 8-year contract at Stamford Bridge being finalized. Jackson emerged as a key target for the Blues this summer as they look to refresh their forward line, having already secured the signature of Christopher Nkunku from German side RB Leipzig. In all competitions last season, Jackson scored 13 goals and provided 5 assists for Villarreal. More transfer stories this lovely Monday evening. Manchester United are looking to launch a bid for Brighton midfielder Moises Caicedo in the summer transfer window. Caicedo impressed with a tally of 1 goal and 1 assist in 37 Premier League matches for Brighton last season. United are now considering a move for the highly rated 21-year-old after having 3 bids for Mason Mount rejected by Chelsea.
Yeah, so happy.
And German club Borussia Mönchengladbach have joined VfB Stuttgart in the race to sign Nigeria's Paul Onuachu from Southampton. Reports say Borussia Mönchengladbach, have strong interest in the Nigerian international, who could not help Southampton from relegation last season. Onuachu linked up with the club for €18 million from Belgian Pro League side Genk in January. And reports say Napoli will sell Victor Osimhen this summer amid interest from European top clubs. Osimhen caught the eye last season following an impressive campaign for Serie A champions Napoli. The Nigerian international scored 26 goals to emerge top scorer in the Serie A. Napoli may find it difficult to resist a big offer for the 24-year-old, with the likes of Chelsea, Manchester United, Paris Saint-Germain and Bayern Munich showing interest in the player. All right, football intermediary Kelvin Irikefe is live on the program from his base in Europe. Kelvin, thank you for joining the show this evening from Dublin. Let's start with our Nigerian brothers who are attracting the market at this moment. Victor Osimhen seems to be the biggest of them all. After that impressive season with Napoli, every top club wants to have Victor on their payroll. If you are his advisor, where would you tell Victor to go?
Thanks for having me. Just give him 2 advice. Follow your career and then follow the cash.
Absolutely. And amongst these big clubs who are interested, we understand that Chelsea want Victor to be a Blue next season. United are also looking at him as an option. Bayern Munich are on the card. Which of these clubs do you think would suit Victor's playing style?
As for his playing style, I think he's a very versatile lad. He has all the components of a world-class striker. From the major leagues in the world, when you look at what it takes to play for these leagues at the highest level, Victor Osimhen got a very good chunk of each department. He can run, he can shoot, he's a hustler, his positioning is excellent. And even if you put him in the Spanish league, he's still going to thrive. All he needs is just the supplies. So for me, I think the handlers will be in the best position to decide based on the projection of his career and the cash, like I said. But if I have to speak from my heart, I think there is only one destination I wish him to go, and that is my darling club, Chelsea.
Well, 8 years ago, I spoke to Victor as a teenager. He was on the show 8 years ago, and he told me his role model is Didier Drogba, who definitely is a Chelsea legend, and that really is in line with your thoughts that perhaps Victor would excel as a Chelsea player. But like you also mentioned earlier, he should also follow the cash. I mean, as a footballer, the cash is always very, very important. Let's talk about other Nigerian players. Paul Onuachu was a big name in Belgium as a Genk player, but not more at this time when he moved to Southampton, a club he could not help to avoid the drop in the Premier League. Onuachu actually struggled to tie down a first-team shirt at Southampton. Now he's on the verge of leaving the club. Where should he go?
For him, I think he has to reconstruct his steps. I mean, before you decide to launch into the Premier League, you have to consider so many other factors. Apart from the ability to play and deliver at a place like in Belgium, the EPL is like a metaphysical ground where you can be made in one moment or you could be destroyed in one moment, especially when you are launched into the midst of the league, when others are already familiarized with the league, and then you play your first match, it wasn't a hit. Second, wasn't that much a hit. The third one becomes a problem, and it rolls on and on and on. I can count for you great players from Nigeria and even from Africa that have gone to the Premier League and then came back as a flop. For him, he shouldn't despair. He didn't flop as far as I'm concerned. He had his first season, and I would just encourage him, like with a reference for Didier Drogba. It took Didier Drogba about 3 seasons to hit the top of his game in Chelsea. At the first 3 seasons, even a midfielder at Lampard scored more goals than him. So I'm not sure you are a striker. The hallmark and the measurement of a striker is how many goals you can score in the eyes of the public, but also your contribution and runs and holding play also matters. I think he didn't really flop on those areas, but just that the goals didn't come in. So I would just ask him to sit back and just find a place where he will have more playing time.
Okay.
Coming from a not rather pleasant season for him.
All right, I never knew you were a Chelsea fan, but so let's stay with the Blues. Chelsea are doing lots of business this summer. A lot of players leaving the club in what I would term as a massive clear out. Kai Havertz leaving for Arsenal, £65 million. Mason Mount is leaving as well. Conor Gallagher is also leaving. We should have a confirmation of all of these in graphics in the beat. Matthew Kovacic is also leaving. Trevor Chalobah is also leaving. Koulibaly has left. He's gone to Saudi Arabia for the money. He's in the twilight of his career, and you want to expect that. Christian Pulisic is also out of the club. Hakim Ziyech is out. Hudson Odoi is out. Edward Mendy is out. Ruben Loftus-Cheek is out. Aubameyang is out. As a matter of fact, Aubameyang has been out a long time ago, though he was still in London. Kante left for free, and so also is the captain, Azpilicueta. A lot of players leaving the club. Christian Nkunku seems to be the only one who is a confirmed arrival with the young man from Villarreal who we just confirmed has also joined the Blues. Looking at these business going on at the Blues side of Chelsea, you want to ask a big question. With all these players leaving the club, who will the new manager be working with at Chelsea?
First of all, the manager has a track record. So far, so good. He has been from Tottenham to PSG. He's been able to work with big players. I think in coming to Chelsea at a point in time where I think it's the lowest point of the club's illustrious history in the EPL, I think he has to clean house. And in cleaning the house, he has to clean the house very well. There are some dead legs, sorry to use the word in a quote, that have been in Chelsea for a while now that have not been performing up to maximum expectation, especially given their average age and the average age of that team. And then it's a time for new blood, a new beginning, a new reconstruction, so that he will come in with a new philosophy, knowing fully well that any player that comes in now is not going to play in the Europa or the Champions League. So they have no reason not to deliver at least a place in the first top four, and then maybe one trophy. I think that would be a good way to start. Otherwise, you trust Chelsea. If he doesn't perform, we'll show him the way out.
Thank you so much, Kelvin Irikefe. Thank you so much for your thoughts on the program today, live on the show from Dublin in Ireland. He talked about the coach, Mauricio Pochettino, who has been hired. He was coach at Tottenham, and so he understands the terrain in London. He's not a newbie as far as the Premier League is concerned, having managed Tottenham for a while before going to Paris Saint-Germain. He's 51 years of age. He's got a lot of Premier League experience under his belt, and perhaps he will be able to turn the tides at Chelsea.